You thought more money would feel different, but here you are earning more than past you imagined possible. The raise came, the bonus landed, the title shifted. The inside of your life still feels strangely familiar. You expected the softening, a sense of finally arriving. Instead, you got a few good days, then sameness. This is the ache nobody warned you about clearly. Earning more, waiting for a feeling that never lands. By the end, you will see the whole pattern. Once you see it, you can stop chasing it. Picture the moment the offer came through your phone. Your chest lifted, your future looked wider and warmer. You imagined a calmer version of yourself in that future, less anxious, more generous, finally breathing without checking. The money arrived, but life kept its old shape. The bills grew, the wants grew, the pressure stayed. You are not broken and you are not ungrateful. You are running on something your mind was wired for. There is a treadmill underneath your money, almost invisible. It moves the finish line forward whenever you reach it. Each new income becomes the new normal faster than expected. What felt like luxury quietly becomes basic Tuesday life. The first nice dinner out felt cinematic and special. The 10th feels like Wednesday barely worth a photo. This is not a flaw. It is simply biology. Your nervous system adapts to comfort the way eyes adapt. That adaptation kept ancestors alive through changing seasons. Today, it quietly resets happiness back to baseline each time. The raise lifts you briefly, then the wave settles. You wake Monday with the same chest, same questions. Notice the small upgrades that slipped in without ceremony. Better coffee, better sheets, better seats, better takeout, better everything. A car upgrade after the promotion, framed as a reward. A kitchen redo because the old one finally felt embarrassing. None felt like much on the day you bought. Together, they quietly became the floor you stand on. That floor is invisible until you try stepping down. Then the old version of life suddenly feels like loss. This is lifestyle inflation. Gentle and quiet, not loud. It does not arrive as greed, it arrives as preference. You did not chase the bigger life on purpose. You simply stopped saying no to small upgrades nearby. Every upgrade, once tasted, becomes the new minimum. The mind protects gains harder than it celebrates them. Your income grows, but the gap to peace stays. The treadmill speeds up, and you keep matching pace. Underneath all of this sits a quieter, older feeling. You were not buying things. You were buying belonging. You wanted to feel chosen, safe, respected, taken seriously somewhere. Money felt like the cleanest way to purchase that quietly. The handbag was never about the leather or the stitching. It was about how the room shifted when you entered. A nicer car was never about the car itself. It was about how strangers looked when you arrived. A better address was not only about square footage. It was about which version of you it implied. We rarely admit this to ourselves out loud. Most spending is a soft conversation with imagined audiences. The people we want to impress are often imagined. A parent, a classmate, an old friend, younger self. That is why arriving never quite lands as expected. The audience in your head keeps moving the curtain. You hit a number, and the number quietly rewrites itself. The new goal appears before you finish celebrating. This is the moving finish line nobody drew here. You did not draw it, yet you keep running toward. Look at the comparison to the small, glowing screen. Other lives edited and lit pour into your eyes daily. You see vacations, kitchens, weddings, watches, weekends, smiling couples. You compare your inside to their carefully chosen outside. The friend who just bought the lake house posts photos. You smile, congratulate them, then feel something tighten quietly. It is not a fair match, never meant to be. Yet your mind cannot help running the numbers. Even good news shrinks the moment you open feeds. The raise that felt huge becomes ordinary inside wheels. This is the comparison drain, quietly exhausting and endless. You earn more all year and still feel behind. Behind which version of life exactly is rarely clear. Behind a composite of strangers you will never meet. Nobody posts the anxious Sunday night or quiet doubt. Nobody films the argument about money in the car. Nobody captions the credit card balance behind that perfect trip. The image is real, but the price tag is invisible. You compare your full footage to their highlight cut. Of course, your life looks smaller in that edit. Now layer in something older, from much earlier. The way money felt in your childhood home, unspoken. Maybe there was tension whenever a bill landed. Maybe there was pride, or shame, or careful silence. Maybe you watched a parent work hard and tired. Maybe you promised your life would be different someday. That promise did not disappear when you grew up. It hardened into a quiet engine that still runs choices. Part of you is not buying for today's life. Part of you is buying for the child watching. That child wanted to feel safe, settled, not worried. Adults, you keeps trying to deliver that through receipts. The child does not care about the receipts themselves. The child cares about finally feeling okay inside. That feeling, it turns out, is not sold anywhere. No purchase has ever delivered it on schedule. There is also a deeper hunger underneath status spending too. The hunger to belong to a tribe you respect inside. You want the people you admire to see you clearly, to nod, to include, to quietly accept you as one. Humans evolved in small groups where status meant survival. To be cast out was to face real danger. Your nervous system remembers that ancient math very clearly. Looking like you belong feels like staying alive somehow. Buying the right thing is not vanity, it is wiring, your old brain trying to keep you safe. Once you see this, shame around wanting softens completely. You're not shallow, simply human and ancient. Let us pause here for a quiet moment together. Take one breath and notice what feels true. Think of a purchase you were certain would change something. A car, a trip, a ring, a house. Remember how it felt 1 month after the moment. Was it transformation, or did normal life quietly return? If something surfaced, leave a short comment about it. Not for me, but for the next viewer tonight. Your line might be what someone else needs tonight. Your honesty becomes a small mirror for a stranger. Back to the deeper layer underneath all of this. The thrill of buying fades faster than the bill. There's a small spike in anticipation before purchase. The browsing, the cart, the imagined future version. That spike, it turns out, is most of the pleasure. The actual ownership rarely matches the imagined feeling. This is why scrolling shopping apps feels oddly soothing. Your mind is renting the spike without paying yet. The spike is short and the baseline returns quickly, so you look for the next anticipation to rent. That loop is not weakness, it is a designed circuit. Picture the houses that look biggest from the outside view. Sometimes inside there is more pressure than peace at night. The foyer is impressive. The calendar full. The smile holds. The bank account, however, has very little quiet room left. Bigger payments, bigger upkeep, bigger expectations from neighbors and self. The walls expanded, and so did everything you carry inside. Meanwhile, on the same street, someone drives older cars. Their accounts are quietly heavy, their evenings quietly light. They learned something most of us learn slowly. Looking rich and being free are very different lives. One performs wealth outward, the other holds it inward. One needs an audience, the other sleeps without checking. You get to choose which one you build today. Nobody is going to choose it for you quietly. Think about the last raise you negotiated or received. Trace where each new dollar went over the months. Often it did not go toward freedom or rest. It went toward an upgraded version of life. A nicer subscription, a bigger plan, a better delivery. Tiny doors opened and the floor rose underneath again. There is no villain in this story, only momentum. 1,000 reasonable yeses quietly added to a treadmill. The fix is not to swear off every nice stain. The fix is to see the machine before saying yes. When you can name the treadmill, you can step aside. You can enjoy the things without being driven. Enjoyment without compulsion feels different inside the body. The same coffee tastes richer when not proving anything. The same trip feels longer when not performing for anyone. The same home feels warmer when not auditioning constantly inside. Notice how often purchases are quietly trying to say something. I made it, I am safe, I am okay here. What if those sentences could be said without a receipt? What if enough became a feeling instead of a number? Enough is not a balance. Enough is a quiet decision. It is a sentence the nervous system slowly learns trust. You will not feel it on the first try. Fine. The feeling grows the way a plant grows, almost invisibly. Start by noticing moments when you already have enough. The warm cup, the safe room, the working knees, mornings. These are not small things, just unposted ordinary things. The feed does not reward them, but your body does. Every time you notice enough, the treadmill loses some speed. Every time you compare again, the treadmill quietly speeds up. You will swing between both for a while. That is human. The goal is a clearer pattern, not perfection. Over months, the pattern shifts in ways you barely notice. You buy less to prove and more to actually enjoy. You scroll less to compare and more lightly to learn. You earn more to expand options, not to outrun shame. Money becomes a tool again, not an identity to maintain. The chase quiets and your actual life walks back in. You start enjoying the dinner instead of photographing the plate. You wear the jacket because it is warm, not signaling. You stop waiting for the future version to arrive. You notice the current version is mostly the person hope. Not because nothing is left to want. That is inhuman. Because wanting is no longer running the entire show. This is what stepping off the treadmill actually looks like. Not less ambition, just a different engine underneath the ambition. Ambition, powered by curiosity, feels light, energizing, and almost playful. Ambition powered by lack feels heavy, urgent, never quite enough. You get to choose which engine you fuel each morning. The choice happens long before any purchase, in a thought. When more money arrives, and it will arrive again, pause. Ask which engine wants this dollar before it disappears quietly. Some dollars belong to real living, real care, shared joy. Some dollars belong to an old fear wearing new clothes. The trick is not to judge either dollar harshly. The trick is to know which one you are spending. You will get better at telling the difference with practice. Nobody is keeping score and no grade is waiting anywhere. The truth is simple, even if it took years to find. More money was never going to fix it for you. What fixes it is seeing the chase and choosing differently. What fixes it is letting enough be a feeling aloud. You are not behind, just finally awake to the loop. That awakeness is worth more than any number you chase. Sit with whatever met something honest inside you tonight quietly. Then share one small line in the comments if helpful. Subscribe and turn the bell on for the next one. We move through these quiet truths together, one video. You do not need more to finally feel like enough. You only need to notice you already are more often.